Steve, can we start with
Charlie, what'd you think of play through 90, and then what changed things?
Yeah, listen, it was a tough match, and we knew it was going to be. You look at this competition, and inevitably, I think a team from a lower division is probably going to knock off an MLS team. This happens every single year, and so what we talked about coming into the match was to not have the mentality of taking any kind of shortcuts tonight, because a side like the Charleston Battery, who I have a ton of respect for, and they showed themselves really well in this match and made it difficult on us for a large part of the match. We had to dig in and we had to be really disciplined. And I think what changed things probably was just being able to bring some guys on. Randall Leal made a big difference. Fidel Barras made a big difference. And then guys like Jacob step up again. I mean, what a fantastic goal from him. He seems to only score these types of goals. I mean, this is superb. Really happy to see Jared have his first goal of 2025. I think that's very important. But then guys like, Garrison Tubbs going the distance again. Brandon Cervania putting in a lot of miles tonight for the group. Very important for us to progress into the round of 16 versus Charlotte next. And they had a match themselves in a similar fashion. They went to extra time as well. And this is what this competition's about. So it's been, I think, since 2019 since we've been to the round of 16. So hopefully, and it's been since 2013 that we've progressed past that. So that's the next step.
When went into the decision not to play with Benteke at all?
Yeah.
Even as it was tight late. Stick with Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, just making sure that he's ready for Saturday. He took a knock the other day. We wanted to make sure that he's fully fit for Saturday, and we had him there because he's fit to play tonight. But Jacob is more than capable, as he showed in the end.
Jason?
Troy, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Randall and Fidel kind of coming in and opening the game up a little bit. What was happening before that? What was the dynamic that wasn't allowing those openings to appear? And then what were they doing that sort of shifted things?
Yeah, listen, I mean, the game was really tight in terms of the structure of the Charleston Battery. I mean, they were really organized in all phases of the game, but particularly against the ball. I was very, very impressed with how they closed the middle of the field, and they didn't allow a lot of space. I mean, we didn't really open up the game until probably 70 minutes or so, and we started to get a few chances towards the end of the second half, the very end. But once those spaces opened up, players like Fidel and Randall can hurt you, and Jared coming on too. And I think they showed that.
I also asked about Garrison Tubbs after not playing much. There was, a knock he had to come through. He goes out on loan. I don't think he was expected to come back. But in these last two games, we've been looking at him in not just getting in the game, but he's in the center of the back three. He's got such a pivotal role. How has he progressed since, early part of the season it's kind of broken up with injury to now getting that kind of trust?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the circumstances have dictated that in terms of Lucas Bartlett, Lucas McNaughton, Connor just now coming back into the mix. So a little bit of the circumstances, but also Garrison, last year he played a lot of matches for us. I think this year what we recognized was we want to make sure that he continues on the right development process for himself, and that was the reason for the loan. But we have a lot of trust in him. I just wanted to make sure he was getting 90 minutes, and because we don't have a second team, it's not as easy as just fluidly doing that on a Sunday after a Saturday match. So we're pretty thoughtful about that as much as we can be without having the benefit of a second team directly with us. But when these injuries come, he's ready to step up and play, and he showed that the last two matches.
Going back to Randall Leal for a second, the ability for him to kind of have guys gravitate for him to kind of open up some of those spaces for some of the long passes he had. What about his game allows that to transpire? Because it felt like there was a point where anytime he saw an opening, no matter how many guys were around him, he was able to make that.
Yeah. This is why Randall's been a special player in the league. I mean, that's why Nashville signed him as a DP. Maybe back in 2020, 2021. He has this type of talent. And he's just had a few injuries in his career that have not allowed him to play consistently over the last year and a little bit. And, man, I really give him so much credit. He's a constant professional that comes in every day to prepare himself whenever his opportunity is called on, and tonight it was, and he showed you exactly what special qualities he has with the ball, because when he gets on it, guys start to come alive. They want to run because they know Randall's going to deliver.
And on defense, obviously, there was a couple, obviously, nervy moments during the game, but they keep the clean sheet.
Yeah.
How do you rate your defense, and especially Kim? I know he's kind of had some ups and downs.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he had a solid night tonight. June had a really solid night, gets the clean sheet. But I give credit to, the entire team for how we defended. I think they have a couple good chances that are kind of half chances. But on the whole, on the night, Kai, Garrison, Massa, Derek Dodson, Aaron when he comes on, Jared when he comes on, all these guys made a really concerted effort to get behind the ball and make it difficult. Schneggy, too, in the first half. Yeah.
Steve and Mark?
Aside from Fletcher wasn't in uniform, did he have a setback or anything? Or?
No, with it only being an 18-man roster, it reduces it even more for the decisions. And we had a number of 10s in the team today, so that was the decision. Yeah.
Hey, Troy, congratulations on the victory. Just want to ask, back-to-back wins, a win in league play on Saturday and a win today. How does that help the team morale going into a short week and playing Toronto on Saturday?
Yeah, we needed this, and that's what I tried to reiterate right after the match whenever we beat Colorado, that we have to turn our focus to Tuesday because we need to start to build momentum. And this was very important for us tonight when you look at the last 4 matches, 3 out of the last 4 now, we want to start to talk about our ability that way in terms of putting together that many wins. And we need that. I can't say that enough because Saturday is going to be another tough test, and we're in a period of time now that we progressed in this competition. Now we're going to see Saturday, Wednesday throughout virtually the entire month of May, and that's any player wants that. That's the best. So we're looking forward to being able to turn the page to Toronto this weekend.
Thank you, Troy.
Yep. Good. Thanks, guys.